Get strong.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Commander deck profile. So, this is a profile that's been in the works for a while since the initial Secret Lair release of the Marvel stuff. So, yeah, it took me a while to get the cards, it took me a while to play the deck, but you guys know me, I love equipments, and Captain America First Avenger is really cool. You can pay 3 mana and unattach an equipment you control, and then it deals damage equal to the mana value divided between 1, 2, or 3 targets. That's like really good, I like that. Very red, very red. He himself is a red, white, blue. They actually changed the color pips or to actually say that instead of like white, blue, red. It's now it's red, white, blue. It was actually pretty good and pretty funny. At the beginning of each combat, beginning of your combat. Beginning of combat. On your turn, attach up to 1 equipment you control to Captain America First Avenger. So yeah, you begin of combat, equip. Either during combat or the end of combat, you can pay 3 and attach it to deal something some damage. So yeah. Plus, I also forked out some Captain America sleeves. Even though it's from Marvel Champions, they still fit. I had to buy 2 packs though, they cost me like $7.50 each. But worth. Captain America sleeves for Captain America himself. Obviously, I only got the common ones. Man, it took ages trying to get the whole trying to get the Secret Lair was a pain because the queue crashed. They had to stop the queue. They had to pause it because they were having technical issues. So yeah, luckily I was actually able to get one. What was it? Surprisingly, a lot of us was able to get them. I was actually kind of scared that scalpers would get their hands on all this, but luckily they did not. So I think that's enough of me talking up. So let's get straight into the profile. So here we go, Captain America First Avenger, 3-drop 4/4, really good. Like, I'm personally honest, I didn't care for any of the characters that were in the Secret Lair. I only cared about Cap because of his equipment's effects and abilities. That's all. There is one card from here I'm actually really liking. It's the extra foil card you get from all the Secret Lairs being like a Groot card. That I love. Especially since I really like playing Groot in like Marvel Rivals at the moment. So let's go to the creatures. Obviously we're running an equipped deck, so we're not running that many creatures. We're running like a total of 14 creatures if you're counting the commander. If you're not counting the commander, it's 13. So, as always, we're running an equipped deck, so we're running Soulforged Mystic. ETB, search for equipment, add to hand. You pay a white tap, put an equipment from your hand onto the battlefield. We have Scram, Senior Artificer. Whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle, draw a card. It's draw power, the same with Pure Steel Paladin. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield, draw a card. It's also got mail cost, since if you've got 3 or more artifacts, equipments cost 0 to equip. And then we have Arden. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment cards you control to target permanent or player. I really like this guy a lot. I really wanted an excuse to run this guy. I once had plans to actually run him as a partner equipment commander. I just, could never find the right partner to put him with. I was trying to find like a really good red one, but I couldn't at the time. And I just forgot about him. but now he's in Captain America. And of course, you guys know me, I find a way to put a cat in almost every deck I have. So Armored Sky Hunter, like, first appearing in my Knight deck, and it's still holding strong in this deck. Because whenever he attacks, you look top 6 cards in your library, you may put an equipment card, an all equipment from among them onto the battlefield. If it's an equipment, you may attach it to target creature you control. That's really nice, being able to just look at top cards in your library. Yeah. I run the reality ship, just because it's really good to know what's the top card in my library. Also, it's also an equipment. Well, it's a legendary artifact creature equipment jellyfish. Now that's a mouthful. I just think the card's good. Plus, if it's equipped to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells on top of your library. Master Transmuter, this helps a lot, so I can basically compose my, like, say my 1-drop equipments with, say, my 10 or 12-drop equipments. You can also return her. You don't have to. I don't know why you I don't know why you pay the mana to tap her to return her to pull out a guy, because then when you summon her again, summoning sickness. That's kind of bum. This card's quite cheeky. Big Deck Dave from Magic Boat Cruise, coming to a channel near you. Asked me if I was running this card. I said no because I didn't know it existed, but now I do. It's Willbreaker. Now, Willbreaker, whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, gain control of that creature as long as you control Willbreaker. Because, say, I've got a, just say a 1-drop, let's just say a 1-drop. And I deal A damage to, say, my opponent's creature. Say, do I have just a random creature? Oh, I do. I've got a rat. I have a rat. Shock, right? Say if I dealt A damage to this rat, I then gain. We'll ignore that it's a 2-1. We ignore the 1. We'll just ignore the 1 for now. Example. I then gain control of this creature until this leaves the board, and I can do that so many times. Like if I've got a 3-drop equipment, I can 1, 2, 3. They're all mine now. Like, Willbreaker can be pretty dumb in that ways. I can take control, but if I've got Death Touch equipped, that kind of defeats the point. But card's really cool. Thank you, Big Deck Dave. Next year is going to be hype for Magic. We've already got so many cool sets. Like, I'm really excited for the Spider-Man set. I'm gonna spunk so much money into that. Too much money. So, then we go to the multicolored. We have a companion. Obviously, I'm not running this as the companion because the command cost is to have every creature in my deck has to have an activated ability. Nah. Not doing that. But abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate. This effect doesn't reduce the mana to cost less than 1 mana. Basically, it turns all my it allows my equipments to equip for cheaper effectively. Yeah, and plus, paying 1, tapping him to target creature can't block this turn is also really helpful. Really good for a 3-drop. There we go. I'm running Crafter of Wonders. Tap, add 2 cost mana to cast artifacts or activate the abilities of artifacts. Equip creature control, have flying and haste. Yeah, what's imagine a Captain America that can fly and attack on the turn he's summoned. Yeah. Then we have the Headmaster from the Assassin's Creed set. There's only like a few cards in the set I actually cared about. I'll be making a video actually about cards like this-ish, I guess, next week, so stay tuned for next week. Because my end of year video is coming up. Equipment you control cost 1 less to cast. So equipment you cast cost 1 less, equipped abilities you activate cost 1 less. So yeah, effectively a 1-drop could be a 0-drop. And a 1-drop equip could be a 0 equip. Card's really good, I like it a lot. Only a few cards from the AC set I actually like, and this is one of them. Next we have Nahari, Forged in Fury. Affinity for equipment, so if I got like 4 equipment on board, she only costs like 1 red, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 white, sorry. Whenever a equipped creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. You may cast equipment spells without paying their mana costs. Yeah, the card's really good. In fact, it says like a full stop there. It says you may cast equipment spells without paying the mana costs. So you can cast them from your hand. It hasn't. I don't believe it has to be the exiled card because of the full stop. The card's really busted. And for the last creature, this is kind of like a little gimmick thing because the card's just kind of like fun to run in our building. It's just a ginger brute. Like I can load up this ginger brute to be a really beefy guy to then pay 1 and say it can only be blocked by creatures with haste. Oh, cheeky brute. Imagine ginger brute like an Excalibur. Oh, disgusting. Like, it's just kind of funny. Obviously, you could probably want like better options, but if you just want to have fun with the game, I just want Ginger Brute. Such a classic card. Okay, and now we go to regular artifacts. Regular artifacts, I have like 6 normal artifacts. So, running Commander deck, so of course we're running Soaring, Arcane Signet. And to help with mana, I'm using Talisman and Creativity and Conviction. And because we're running on the commander side, because we want to have fun, I convert a Jewel. And obviously, kind of like an artifact deck, I do kind of want to try and untap as many artifacts as I can, so we're running the combo of the Scepter and the blue card that I'm starting to forget about now. Where is it? Oh, Dramatic Reversal, that's it. Dramatic Reversal. This becomes an infinite loop. Just by untapping your mana, clothing with this, that's infinite mana effectively. So that's infinite times I can hit people with Cap. Yeah, that's kind of it for the basic artifacts. This is the only deck I have that doesn't have like a specially arted Soul Ring. And I refuse to buy the Secret Lair one because that's going for money. Still at the moment, still going for a bit of money. Now, in this deck, I'm running a fat stack of equipments like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah, I thought so. Fat 20. It's the highest number of equipment I've ever run. You normally only run 18. But I added an extra 2 because they are busted. I say busted, they are huge mana values. So, I guess we'll go with the main one first, being the Shield of War and Peace, aka the Sword of War and Peace. In my personal opinion, it's not the greatest sword in the game. It only really works if your opponent has a decently. If you and your opponent have a decently sized hand, that's fine. Because yeah, it gives me protection from buffs, so it gives me protection from red-white. Which means I have to be careful if I'm targeting Cap with like red or white cards because I can't, it's got protection. When it deals damage, the shield deals damage to the opponent equal to the number of cards in their hand, and then I gain life for each card in my hand. But yeah, it's still pretty cool, and I now own like what, 8 swords, either 8 or 9 swords now, so there's still a few I don't have. My life goal is to have all of them. And then we have obviously Sword of Fire and Ice, protection from blue-red, deals damage, deals 2 damage at any target, and you get draw a card. Forge and Frontier, exile top 2 cards. You may play additional land on your turn. Protection from red-green. Feast and Famine, protection from black-green, deals damage to a player. They discard a card, you untap all your lands. Hearth and Home, which is the blink card. So you blink a creature you control, blink, and then you blink it back on the battlefield. You also then put a land onto the battlefield at the same time. So, well, a basic land onto the battlefield. For the last sword, it's Sword of Wealth and Power. I just like having protection from instants or sorceries when, just in case there could be a Plowshare Path to Exile on board. And the fact when it creates a treasure, then you copy the next sorcery instant. Is sorcery instant or next spell? No, it is sorcery. So you can copy that spell. Like the card, I thought the sword was very, very dumb when it came out. I still think it's dumb, in my personal opinion. The card's really good. Also, I can't help but see it's like a Tyrannid. That's definitely a Tyrannid, right? That's definitely a Tyrannid. So yeah, 6 swords, which is the highest amount of swords I actually play. I usually only play 5, but I thought, nah, I gotta run the shield. I have to run the shield. So next are the other 14 equipments. Obviously, we're running Excalibur because it's the highest mana value equipment in the game, 12. So you can hit someone in the face for 12, or hit 3 people for like, what? 6? No, you can hit 2 people with 6 damage each. And it costs less for each historic card you control. So effectively it can be just, here's a 0-drop 12, here's a 0-drop sword that makes my guy +10/+10 and has vigilance. Yeah. Then we have, I guess, we'll start with the biggest equipment. So, Keldra Complete is a 7-drop. That's kind of why it's in there, and because of the whole indestructible, the equipped creature gets +5/+5, has first strike, trample, indestructible, haste, and whenever this creature deals damage to a creature, exile that creature. But it could just be the case of I'm just gonna unequip this, just so that I can deal 7 damage or something, or just keep it on board so it has indestructible. That's also a good option. Next is a Nazgul Battle Mace. Now this card's a little bit disgusting, but it's mainly in here because of the Death Touch. I don't play it with the Annihilator 1. Equipped creature has Menace, Death Touch, Annihilator 1, and whenever a opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, put that card onto the battlefield under your control unless they pay 3 life. Yeah, that could be an issue, but I think people might just pay the 3 life. I would pay the 3 life. Because, yeah, well, with the Death Touch, because he's still dealing damage to a creature, that creature will still die because of the Death Touch. So I can deal 1 to everything. Well, I can deal 1 to 3 damage, 1 damage to 3 targets, and they all die. Next is this. I've had this couple of years. It's in my first commander deck. I still have it. I still think it's busted. Equipped creature gets +6/+6, and whenever the equipped creature attacks, destroy target permanent. Sure, that might not be the greatest card now, but back when I first started, this card was a pain for my friends. This card was an absolute. They wanted to kill this every time it got brought out. Next we have, I'm running Mjolnir Stormhammer because 1, enters the battlefield, it equips the target creature you control, well, legendary creature you control. Whenever equipped creature attacks, tap target creature defending. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, tap target creature to target. Tap target creature defending player controls and put a stun counter on it. Then Mjolnir deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of tapped creatures that player controls. So it's a 4-drop for equip, but when it comes in, it just equips to target legendary creature. So it could be, with a lot of cards in here, it could just be a 3-drop. And then I really like this card a lot. I like Leyline Axe. I think it's a cool card. Just being able to put onto the battlefield at the very start of the game, I think it's cool. Plus, equipped creature get +1/+1 has double strike and trample. And the equip is only 3. It's only 3 mana. I like this card a lot. It's probably the only equipment from from Foundations I actually really like. Then Sunforger. Now, Sunforger is incredibly strong because if you pay 1 red and 1 white, you can unattach it and search your library for an instant card that's red or white with mana value 4 or less and cast it. You can do this because it's a mana ability. You can do this at instant speed. So I can search for Swords of Plowshare, Path to Exile. I can even go for any of my cards that say no damage, or my guys have indestructible. As long as I still have mana to equip it again, and if I can equip it at instant speed, that's even better. Mithril Coat, so that Captain America has indestructible, pretty much. Haunted Cloak, because it gives Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Trailblazer's Boots, because it allows my creature to not be blocked if they have a command tower, because that's non-basic land walk. And again, Swifties, the hexproof. Shadow Spear, because it's a 1-drop to equip that gives my creature 1/1 lifelink and trample. And for 1 mana, you can say permanent your opponent controls loses hexproof and indestructible to the end of the turn. And then a Basilisk Collar for the Death Touch and lifelink, because again, if I deal 3 creatures 1 damage each, they're dead. And for the last card, it's the Groot card. I actually really want one of these for the longest time. I just keep forgetting to buy one. I wasn't actually aware it came in the secret lair until I actually opened it as a TikTok. But yeah, I love it, that's Groot. I really do like it as Groot. I think it would have been even dumber if it was Rocket, because Rocket likes to steal shit from people. But yeah, Groot's perfect. I want to buy all the Groot cards. I really do. That would be another goal for me to get, just all the Groot cards. But yeah, that's all the equipments. That is all the equipments. Now for the instances. I am running quite a few instances. I am running quite a few of them. So, Alliance Tutor, just to search for equipment, an artifact or enchantment on the top of your library. So it could be any of my enchantments to say enters the battlefield, equip a target creature, or maybe just an equipment card itself. Might be Excalibur. So we have Swords of Plowshare, card removal, creature removal, Dispatch, creature removal if I have 3 or more artifacts on board, which most likely I do. Stroke of Midnight, just destroy a non-land permanent, they gain a 1/1 human. And then we have Flawless Maneuver, the Captain America artwork. Creatures I control gain a stroke in turn. If I control my commander, I may cast this card without paying its mana cost. And then we have an Etherize, return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. Because I don't really tend to have that many creatures. Most of the time I have maybe Cap and another creature. It's kind of the same why I also have desynchronization, because desynchronization returns each non-land permanent that's not historic to the owner's hands. So all those little tokens are being hit with, they're basically going to the hand and they will fizzle. A counter spell because we're running blue. There's Dramatic Reversal, the card I was mentioned earlier that helps me with an info loop. Untimely Malfunction. The card is a deflecting swat. For 2 mana, deflecting swat. It only does 1 target, but still, it's a deflecting swat for 2 mana. We're gonna run it. The card's dumb. Destroy target creature or change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. Or 1 or 2 target creatures can't block this turn. But now you use it for like the your card's got to target that? No, it's got to target this instead on your board. Battlefield Improvisation. Target creature gets +2/+2 to the end turn. If that creature is attacking, you may attach any number of equipment you control to it. The same is said for. This is the exact same, except it doesn't give 2/2, and this has split second. That's the only difference. They are pretty much the same card. One's white, one's red-white. And then for the last instant, we have Boss Charm, just for the extra protection and double strike. I am enjoying the deck. I had to like really fix the deck because there's multiple times I've been mana screwed, and sometimes I've just been flooded with mana. But I think that's the case with every commander deck. Now, for the sorceries, I'm only running 6. Most of them are very similar. You guys have seen like at least 5 of these from other equipment-based profiles I've done. Still shape a gift, search for equipment, add to your hand. Open the armory, search for equipment or aura, add to your hand. Inject Tutor, search for Charmant, add to your hand. This, because we have blue, Fabricate, search for an artifact, add to your hand. It's just a no-brainer to run this card. Brilliant Restoration to bring all my artifacts and equipment back from my graveyard to the battlefield, and Wake the Past to bring all my artifacts from my graveyard to the battlefield, and they also have haste if they're creatures. Pretty quick, pretty simple, because you guys have seen at least like these 4 in like the Kemba profile, and this in maybe. Would this have been in the Knights? I don't know if this has been in the Knights. Now for the enchantments. I actually won a good amount, I think 7 enchantments? Yes, 7. So we are running Captain America's Aid. What a shock. The only card I'm not running from the Captain America is In the Trenches, because I honestly think that's a crap card for so much mana. No. I'd rather just use Banishing Light. So, equipment is the battlefield, equip it to target creature you control. Also, you can cast equipment and always so they have flash. Forge to New, enter the battlefield, put a equipment from your bin onto the battlefield. As long as it's your turn, you may activate equip abilities anytime you cast an instant. You may pay 0 rather than pay the cost for the first equip ability you activate during each of your turns. Ghostly Prism. I always said Ghostly Flicker for a second, but that's a completely different card, because that's an instant. This is an enchantment. So pay 2 for each creature that's attacking me. It's also to help with the fact that I don't have that many creatures to block with, so this also helps. Artificer's class, so my equipment costs less. I can look at top card in my library until I hit an equipment and put it on the battlefield and put it in my hand. Go card, put it into my hand. And then if you get to level 3 at the beginning of your end step, you can create a token copy of target artifact you control. So I can create copies of my artifacts, my equipment, except for the legendary ones of course, because the legendary will. Next we have Fiery Emancipation, because who doesn't want to do triple damage? Because America can effectively do triple damage. If a source you control will deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple damage to that permanent or player instead. This card used to be like £20, and then the Eldraine came out and it was buffed to like it. I think this printing is like maybe a $5. It dropped so much. Even then, I've always had a copy. I've had this copy because I opened it in my Core 21 box. Yeah, I've had it for a while, just never really used it. Then we have Avenger Assault. So I do want to grab a normal version of this, to be honest, because I don't want to keep using my Shining Tail. But effectively, pay 5, untap all my creatures. There's additional combat phase and then additional main phase after that one. So if you keep spaffing out mana, you can do infinite combats. And then for the last one, it's a Fires class. ETBs, search for equipment. If you want to get to level 2, equip abilities cost 2 less, and then level 3 is whenever you can basically decide what blocks your creature. And now for the lands. Obviously, Command Tower. Command Tower. And then we are also running shock lands, so we're running all the ones that deal me a damage when I cast them for that color. So I'm running one of each, white blue, red white, and blue red. I'm also running like Sacred Foundry and Hollowed Fountain. I think these are the right number. I don't need the third one of these. I don't need the blue red. I don't need the blue red one. And then we are also running the Artifact lands, the Ancient Den, Seal of Synod, and the Great Furnace, just to help with the Magecraft. Reliquary Tower to help with unlimited hand size, Inventor's Fair to help search for other equipment I want, and a little bit of life gain. Academy Ruins to recycle my artifacts to the top of my library. And for the Sack lands and Myriad Landscape, so I can search for a mountain or plains. Favorite passes to search for a forest or forest, plains or island. Forest, mountain. No, there's no forests. Mountains, plains, and islands to the battlefield. And the same is said for these. These all search for the same thing. They're just searching for lands. Like, I really do like. I was thinking about getting the others, but I think this is fine since most of my main colors is red and white. If you really, you can if you want to, of course. And then we're running like, what's this now? It's like 7, I think. 3, yeah, 4, 7 planes. Also, I'm using the only good thing to come out of Ravnica, the cool-looking basic lands. 7 plains, 6 islands, and 6 mountains. Because I've got a lot of other. Like, I think like these lands, I think are good. I don't think you can beat these lands. But yeah. So yeah, that is my Captain America Commander deck profile, which I call America's Ass. As always, I'll leave a link to the description to the deck list itself of an Architect, and hopefully you can stay tuned and you'll see that the next video next week will be, if you guys have been around since last year, I do an end of year video where I talk about every single set this year. Well, all the sets except for like Secret Lairs and shit. So I hope you guys are excited for that video, and yeah, we shall see you in the next one. Bye.